today's session, the topic is programming C language, and in this session I will illustrate three programs. The first program is program to illustrate the structure of C program, and in the second program we will decide whether a given input number is even or odd, and in the third C program we will find out factorial of an input number by using a recursion method. Let's start. This is our first program, and the first line that I have written is program to illustrate the structure of C program. You can see that it is written in the comment line. As I told you in my previous class that compiler will skip the command line during the process of compilation, and the second line is has include stdio.h. Here has include is preprocessor directive, and stdio.h is a header file. Why it is known as header file? Due to its .h extension name, and stdio stands for standard input output. Then the second line is also the in the second line I have included conio.h. The conio.h is console input output header file. In header file, the prototypes of predefined functions are being declared. The predefined functions which are going to be used in our program. Then in the third line it is written as int global underscore var. That means here I have declared a global variable. This line is known as variable declaration. This means whenever here a memory location will be associated to this program and the name of that memory location will be global var. Then as I told you, every C program, the execution of every C program starts from main function. So here is the main function, and before main function here another function which is known as a user defined function. In my previous session I have already told that a user defined function can be declared before or after the main function. So let's start from our main function. This is the block of main function, and this is the block of user defined function. So in the main function, first I have written CLR-SCR. The CLR-SCR stands for clear screen, and it is being defined in has include conio.h. That means the functionality of clear screen is defined in conio.h. And the next line is printf welcome to main function. As you can see that in this printf statement there is no conversion specification character. That's why I haven't mentioned any variable name in this sentence. It is just to print a message. Okay. And in the second printf statement again I printed a message that enter the value of global variable. Okay. And here you can see that in my output the first line is welcome to main function, then the second line is enter the value of global variable. Then the control will pause until the user will provide a value because due to this scanf statement. That means compiler wants a input value. So here I have written that %d and %global underscore var. That means if I print any numeric value, it may be I take it as 23, and 23 will be stored in this memory location. Okay, that means here the scanf in this sentence the 23 value will be stored in the memory location of global variable. Then in my print next line is printf the global variable is %d comma global underscore var. See here this within this parenthesis there is a comma, means two things are written. The first one is the string constant, and along with the string constant I have written a conversion specification character. As I have written a conversion specification character, for that I have to give a variable name. So in this line I would like to print the value which is being stored in global variable. So I have written the value of global variable is %d global variable. Why I have written %d? Because I have already declared global variable type is %d. Then in my next line here, it is a user defined function which is defined above or before the main function. Here I have make a call of display function. From this line the control will move from this to this. Okay, here the display function. In display function, see in my output, here I have written in user function display. The global here in user function display. Then after that printf statement is written. In the printf statement I have written enter the value for global variable. Same the message is written. Then again there is also a scanf statement. Means the control will pause until the user will give a input value. And here I have given a value 45. That means again the 45 will be stored in the memory location whose name is global variable. That means the value 45 will be overwritten on 23. And then I wrote the printf statement where the value of global variable is %d and global var. So in my output the value of global variable is 45. After executing this line, again the control will come from this to this line, and this line means to the main function, and in the main function there is also another printf statement which is written, and in my printf statement I have written the value of global variable is %d global variable, and it will print in my output screen that the value of global variable is 45. Why this is 45? Because first in my main function I have entered 23, and as it is a global underscore var is a global variable, so the scope of this variable is throughout the program. That means it may be a main function or it may be a user defined function. Both can use the global variable. Here 23 is being stored in the memory location whose name is global variable, and in this scanf statement 45 value will be overwritten in that particular memory location, and as 45 is being overwritten, so the value of the global variable is changed from 23 to 45. So that's why here the value of global variable is 45 is printed twice. Next, this is a program that we here write a C program to find out whether the number is even or odd. That means through the keyboard we will take a number as input and check whether the input number is even or odd. Let's start. Same, the first line is the comment line which is enclosed in the which is written and it is being skipped by the compiler during the compilation process, and the next line is the #include std.h. As I told you in my previous slide, this is the preprocessor derivative and this is the header file, and #include conio.h. These two header file always being imported while a programmer write a C program. Let's start our program. Void main, and this is the block of the program. Here the first line, it is known as variable declaration. This line is known as variable declaration. That means in this line a memory location will be associated to this program and the name of the memory location is num. Then clear function means to clear the function. Clear function it is for the documentation purpose we write. And next come to the printf statement. It is a message oriented. Whatever I will write here means in this printf statement, as there is no conversion specification character, so it can be considered as message oriented. The entire string will be printed in my output console. Here I have written enter the number. See, in the run one, the entire string is written enter the number, and it will pause until the user can give an input. And the next line is scanf %d and %num. Why I have written it %d? Because I am going to store the number in the variable in num, and num is defined as integer. So that's why I have written it %id. So here whatever value will be given by the programmer will be stored in this memory location. For an example, here I have given 23, and 23 will be stored in the memory location whose name is num. Then here I have written if condition. Generally if condition is bidirectional, means either it is true or it may be false. Let's check. Okay, to check whether a number is even or odd, the formula is if the number is divisible by 2. That means whenever we divide a number by 2 and if our remainder is 0 and quotient is in the integer form, then that particular number can be considered as a even number. So to check even number, there is a modulus function in C, and here I have written if number mod 2 equal to 0. That means by this modulus function the value, the remainder value is being drawn. So if the remainder will be 0, then the number will be even, or if the remainder will not be 0, then that particular number can be considered as a odd number. Let's see. Here I have written if number mod 2 equal to 0. If here I have given the input as 23. 23 mod 2 is not equal to 0. So the control will not execute this block. Okay, and it will jump from this line to else block, and as the number entered 23 is not a even number, simply it will print the entered number %d is odd num. That means the entered number 23 is odd. Then take a second run. Suppose a user second run enter, again this message will be displayed on the screen, and a user give an input 42. 42 will be stored in a memory location whose name is num. Then it will check if 42 mod 2 equal to 0. Yes, 42 mod 2 is equal to 0. So the control will print, then the control will execute this sentence, and in this sentence it is written that the entered number %d is even. So this will be printed that the entered number 42 is even, and after that the control will come out from this block to this line and will not execute this part, as if else statement is bidirectional. And in this sentence I have written in the printf statement that end of the program, and after execution the last line, the end of the program will be printed and the program will terminate. Next, the next program is write a C program to find out the factorial of a number using recursion. So before I start, the factorial of n means factorial n factorial equal to n into n minus 1. Okay, then there is a term recursion. What is recursion? Recursion is a mechanism provided by the C compiler where a function call itself again and again until we get a desired result, and this facility is given by the provided by the C. Let's start our program. Here the first line is in the comment line as it is written in the delimiter, so it will be skipped by the compiler during the compilation. Then the next line is has included stdio.h. Here I have included two header files, stdio.h and conio.h. As I told you that a user function can be defined before or after the main function. Here I have defined the user function whose name is factorial before the main function. Okay, so actually I have written the user defined function before the main function to avoid function prototype. That is the motto. Unless we can define this function after the main function also, but if we will define the user defined function after the main function, here we have to write the function prototype, that is long factorial int, and the prototype must be ended with a semicolon. So as I have written the user defined function before the main function, there is no need of function prototype or function declaration. Let's start the execution. Okay, void main, this is the main function. Okay, this is the block of main function, and here I have declared two variables. One is integer type, another is long type. Why? And I will tell you. For a number I have written the type is int, but factorial means where the factorial of a particular number is being stored. It may be a bigger number. That's why I have taken the data type long. Okay. In the next line, clear screen is written CLRACR function, and here in the printf statement I have written enter the number to find the factorial. That means here the computer is asking to the user that put or give a input number whose factorial you want to calculate. Okay, for an example, we'll run it later. Okay, and in this scanf, and the user input number will be stored in num. Okay, here two memory location will be associated to this program. One is num, another one is fact. Okay, then in this scanf statement, whatever number will be given by the user will be stored in this memory location. And here I have calculated the factorial of a particular number and stored in the variable fact. Okay, let's take the value and we will discuss all these things. Suppose one more thing that I would like to say, and the factorial of a number can be calculated, but we know that factorial of 0 is 1. Also, while we write the program, we have to consider this factor also. If the number given by the user is 0, so simply we have to write that factorial of 0 is 1, or if the number is greater than 0, then we will go for a calculation. Okay, in the user defined function, it is factorial. It is the name of the function, and it is the return type of a function. Okay, and here, and it is known as argument which is passed during the function call. Okay, see, at this moment the control will move from this to this. This is the function is called factorial norm, and whatever the value will be stored in norm will be passed to here, and this norm value will be stored in n. Okay, and here I have written the code that if the value of n equal to 0, return 1, as the factorial of 0 is 1. If the value is non-zero, then it will calculate or return, as we know that n into n minus 1. That means n into factorial of n minus 1. Here this is the function which call itself. This is the here. See these two line. Here it is also written as factorial, and here it is also written as factorial. This is a function and this is the function. The same function call itself within a function until we get the result. That's why this is known as a recursive. This function is known as a recursive function, and this mechanism is known as recursion. So whatever number will be given as input, the factorial of particular number will be calculated by this line if that number is greater than 0. So let's run and the value again, after calculating the factorial of that particular number, the value will be sent from this function to this, and that value will be stored in this memory location. And in the last printf statement I have written that the factorial of %d, norm and fact. That means the factorial of input number is the calculated number. Here I have printed. So first run 1 in our output stream. Simply this line will be printed. Enter the number to find the factorial. If a user give the input 0, here 0 will be passed to this function, and here and 0 will be stored in n. Okay, n, and in this statement that value is checked, that if n equal to 0, it will return 1, and here after returning 1, due to this printf statement, the factorial of 0 is 1 as it is written. Take a second run. Suppose the user is giving a non-zero value or a value which is greater than 0. For example, here scanf %d and %num. Suppose the user give a number that is 5. Okay, and the 5 is being stored in the norm memory location. In this factorial function, the norm value is passed, okay, to this, and here is the value 5 is also being stored in n. And here the if condition, n is equal to 0, no, 5 is not equal to 0, so it will skip this line and execute this particular line. Here the main execution will start. As we know that it will return 5 into fact of 5 minus 1, and for this fact of 4, that is 4, that means 5 into 4 into fact of 4 minus 1. Then next 5 into 4 into 3 into fact of 3 minus 1. Then 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into fact of 2 minus 1. And in last 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 into fact FSCT fact of 1 minus 1 which is 0. So this here fact is called once, fact is called twice, thrice and 4 times, 5 times. As the same function is calling itself again and again, that's why this is known as a recursive function. And as we know that 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 is 122. The value 122 will be stored in this fact. And in this printf statement, the factorial of 5 is 122. Okay.